Are we ready to go?
Yes.
Please stand for the pledge, please.
I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, welcome everybody to our village board meeting to open a public hearing on the budget, plus take care of other matters that may come forward for the board for this evening. So the first thing what I'd like to do is commence with opening for the public hearing on the budget for any questions.
You want questions?
Well, then I'll back up. Let me give you a summary of the budget. Let me lead off with a summary of the budget for the 2017-2018 year. Overall, our salaries were calculated with a 3% increase per the union contract that was signed last year. Our general fund, we have expenses of $2,353 and $2,353.97. Revenue and other taxes is $742,052. And our tax levy, which is the amount we need to raise in taxes, is $1,611,045. That sets our current tax rate at $4.17 per thousand. And the tax cap for this year was set at 1.0015%. Currently, we are $628 underneath the tax cap. Also included in the budget will be capital transfers for the improvement accounts. We have a capital fire account, which will transfer $50,000, a capital streets, $7,500, a capital for police, $7,500, capital for parks and recreation, $10,000, capital for sidewalks, $15,000. An increase in the overall assessment of the village has allowed us to stay underneath this tax cap of 1.0015% by that $628 that I mentioned before. And the increase of the tax rate was from $4.15 per thousand assessed value to now $4.17 per 1,000 assessed value. We also have a water budget that is set at $961,636 and a sewer budget that is set at $809,923. Neither of those two budgets will require any raise in the rates. Now I'd like to open up the floor for any questions. All right. Thank you, Pat. I need to make a motion to go into the public hearing.
Oh,
Second. I'll go. Second.
okay.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Approved.
All right. I have a request of the board, which was prompted
Can you
by,
come up to the mic?
shall I say my name? Is
Yes.
Isabel Schulte? And I'm a taxpayer of village taxes. And I know that Sergeant Dunn is requesting that a part-time clerk position be changed to a full-time, which prompted me to dust off a very old request that my neighbor, now deceased, and I had of the board years ago, but which I'd like to revive. When I came here 40 years ago, there was one policeman who parked his car under the light at Beekman Arms. As my neighbor said, it was very well protected. Nobody ever stole anything there. Now Sergeant Dunn supervises 13, I think, part-time policemen, and that probably would be sufficient for an ordinary village, maybe 250 hours a week or something like that. But Rhinebeck is not an ordinary village. We're a celebrity village, which requires a lot more police protection. And we, the taxpayers, pay for the non-taxable fairgrounds activity. When I came, there were about 3 events a year, and now it's booked from spring, summer, and fall. And all of that requires police protection, which we pay for. We pay for, when I came, there was the Memorial Day Parade, and that was just about it. And now we have several other events, especially the increasing Sinterklaas, which I was originally involved in and which has grown far beyond its Dutch origins. It's like a Macy Day parade in the country, and that requires a lot of police protection, and the taxpayers pay for that. So I would like to revive my neighbor's request and mine that we put this on a business basis, and that the village charge all the organizations some rate of money. I know that the fairgrounds makes an annual donation, but it doesn't come close to covering the cost. With the exception, of course, of what is really inherent in the fabric of the village, like the Memorial Day parade and public school events when we're protecting the village children, but protecting thousands of other children. I think the organizers should pay for that. And incidentally, then we could get a full-time clerk. I have no opinion of whether the clerk's position should or shouldn't be increased, but we could pay for that without raising the budget. And it's a long time. I know this has been long felt within the village, which actually resented the fairgrounds from coming here in the first place. And so that's my request to the board.
Thank you, Isabel.
I would just say that we're going to have to look at these. Yeah, we're gonna have to look at this issue very carefully about how the village has been paying for these things, and we'll have to figure out how to handle it. One of the issues on the other side is that we have people who are doing charitable contributions, or doing fundraisers for churches, for food pantries, and we feel a little, we're thinking about, do we want to squeeze people who are actually trying to do fundraising as well? I don't know the answer to that, but we're trying to evaluate.
Well, you're squeezing taxpayers, and not all taxpayers currently come from Manhattan, only a section of them. But I think it's just, some organizations donate money, to the police department, which is fine. I think it should be resolved. That first of all, who is going to pay, who isn't going to pay? Is it going to be some sort of sliding scale if the Church of the Messiah food pantry wants money that's different than some other, or some wedding of of Clinton's daughter or something like that. But I think it should be on a business, and I think the police department, it should go to the police department to pay for the extra work, because they have a lot of extra, from the one policeman at night sleeping in his car, Beekman Arms, to 13 part-timers. A huge change.
It's a real issue.
Yes.
It's a real issue.
Well taken, Isabel. Thank you.
Thank you.
This time, is there any other questions? Having no more questions, any discussion on the budget from the board?
Well, we went over line by line last night and looked at everything, and everything seems to be in a line.
All right, this time I'd like to make a motion to close the public hearing on the budget.
I make a motion to close the public hearing.
Yeah, all right.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. Thank you. On to the next order of business. You should all have in your folder a Lions Coin Club Lions Club coin drop, excuse me. See where I have that. I misplaced it. I have it. So the organization, the Rhinebeck Lions Club, would like to apply for a coin drop, and the date of the coin drop is on May 6th and May 7th. And it will occur in front of Stickles and the M&T Bank.
And is there an event going on at the fair?
Yes, the antique car show.
Antique
Yeah,
car show.
show, okay. And I believe there was I see a letter from Pete that said it was okay. Did he weigh in on that?
No, we did not.
Oh, he did not, okay. Has this been
This has been happening every year forever.
on the weekend of the car show?
On the
Yeah,
weekend of the
all
car
right.
show.
So I make a motion to allow the Lions Club to hold their coin drop. Lions Club coin drop. It's a tongue twister.
Second?
Should I say the dates?
Yeah, the date is May.
May 5th, May 6th and May 7th.
May 7th.
Yes.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. I have no business to go in for executive unless anybody of the board members.
No, I just want to let you know, today I met with John Fenton to talk about the gardens, it's phase 3. We talked about this last night.
Yes.
And here's the original legal description that tells about the fees. You can have that copy.
Okay.
I can make a copy for you too. I gave one to Pat.
Can make a copy.
So John's going to get a hold of, we had the town building inspector was there too, Ed Maddock, and John Fenton and I all met together, and we talked to a developer from a development company. And John's going to get a hold of our lawyer, Rich Olson, to come up with a plan for the third phase with the fees in this. But if you look at the original one, the fees are set for the whole project. For some reason, it only goes up to the second phase, and there's nothing provided for the third phase.
So the fees would stay the same
Well, yeah, according to this,
according to the contract.
Yeah.
But we have not collected anything for those fees.
not for the third phase,
For
no,
third phase.
because they're not ready to be hooked up yet.
Okay. So is there anything we need to do in preparation to do this? Why do we need Rich if we have a contract that covers
Well, we
all
don't have
three phases?
we don't have a separate one for the third like we do for the second one. I don't know why we have this one. But
So you're saying there was an initial contract, this piece of paper, and then some sort of memorandum that,
yeah, this was,
We did it to
the
some
initial
degree.
one was May 12th, 2011, and this one was September 20th, 2012 for the phase 2. There's no phase 3 memorandum, if that's what you want to call it. So what do you suggest?
So the first question I have is, have we allocated for those fees into the budget? I guess that'd be a question for Karen.
Yeah,
The fees that we're going to collect?
Yes, for phase 3.
I actually reduced it, to 5,500 down from 10,000. Actually, no, I removed it because the last 2 years we had anticipated this phase 3 and we put in 10,000
Right.
and we have not received anything from the last 2 years. So do you anticipate that it's going to be starting this year?
yeah, the lines are going to the buildings, but they're not hooked up to the individual units. I guess it's done as people move in?
It's done as they hook up,
Right.
as they tie into the water and tie into the sewer.
And the fees are paid before the COs.
Right.
And my request is just if the town's building department can just stay in communication with us. I mean, how did it work with you, Pat?
The clerk from the building department always came in with the ones that she had given COs to. And then I reached out to the developer and said, the fees have been applied for, you need to come in to fill out complete the contracts for the water and sewer taps and to pay these fees. And he always came in, and it worked very well because we were in communication with, I
There.
want to say Kim, with the clerk,
With their-
with the clerk over
Okay.
there. And I would recommend that it would stay, that have a similar thing this time.
So the question is, should we add that revenue into our budget?
How close is it to being done? Close?
It's gonna probably happen within the next year, yeah, for the next budget year.
The complete phase? Or?
Well, it's done as people move in,
Right.
so I don't know if the whole phase is
How-
gonna be filled
We
up.
don't know how quick they'll sell.
Right.
Well, it doesn't matter if they sell or not. The developer pays for them,
Oh, at the
Wait.
time of completion,
yes,
to get the
to
CO.
get the CO.
So it's not on sale price,
Right,
it's not on sale.
it's on the completion of the unit.
We can always make an adjustment
Yeah.
when we get like a group of them, or we know that it's gonna actually be happening.
I think, I like that approach, since it's an unknown number,
Right.
Right.
my recommendation is that we leave it as is for the budget, and then make adjustments as we get.
Mhm.
As we find out what it's gonna be, how much
Right.
it's gonna be. Okay.
Yeah.
How many are in total in phase 3?
40, I believe.
It's good.
40 units.
So really what it looks like is this memo from 2012 basically is reference to this agreement from 2011. It just says, it's just reminding everybody what was in the original agreement. Is basically, that's what the 2012 piece of paper is.
Right, but it only goes through phase 2.
Oh, like phase 2, right, no,
Yeah.
I understand, so, but that's why that's,
So just to make things sure that everything's clear, if we get that memo from the lawyer, we can then say this applies to phase 3, and then, but
Right.
it doesn't, it's just a reminder
Mhm.
of what we need to do.
well, we need, right, and so we need to append somehow phase 3 to the agreement from the 2011. We have to add language to say we're now
Correct.
including phase 3, okay.
Correct. And that's, I think Howie's got the lead on that to talk to Rich, or John's gonna.
John's talking to Rich about
John's
it,
gonna
yeah.
talk to Rich.
Okay. Did
Okay.
they indicate to you that did they say anything like, oh, yes, we remember, or they?
Oh, no, they know, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. There's no dispute.
Okay.
Good.
So, keep talking to her.
Thank you for
Yes.
following up with that.
Yes, you're welcome.
Any other questions or discussion on the budget? We closed the hearing anyways, and we closed the executive, and
New business. I see.
having no other information or no other questions, I make a motion to close the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Opposed.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you all for coming.
There we go.